Hey everybody, this is Rydo. Let's get back to Overlord. We're in the final battle. We only got to 85% corruption, and I'm a little upset with that because I'm not sure we're going to be able to get 100% corruption in the point we are at. Okay, there's our green there, so I need to be able to draw some blues. And I may have to go back to the beginning. And I've got to get some greens because I cannot get to this doorway otherwise. So this is definitely an interesting level. It's kind of a magical realm. No real consideration for how this works in the real world, that there's a lake right next to a volcano area. I wish I knew what he wanted the statue for. I bet he didn't even want the statue, he was just using me as to kill all his kill all the good guys, corrupting them originally and then...
Don't be too despondent. You did quite well.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many blues do I have? 17? That should be enough.
If you defeat him, I'll gladly have you back. I mean, serve you.
Have you back? I mean, serve you. Looks like we might be able to go up this realm too. Let's just have everybody stand right here for a moment and see what this is. These are just brown beetles. Okay, so just in case I was running short on browns, they would let me come over here. And here we can equip some of these guys. But really, there's only one path. This is a straight line that has been curved properly in level design so that it doesn't become blaringly obvious it's a straight path. It has a slight divergent point when a couple places where it split off and forked. Not a ton of beetles here if we needed life. I think what they should have is just like wells of life instead of even having to fight beetles. I think if you are hitting a point where you need life, you need tons of it. Now, I have very late in the game realized that resetting would have fixed all your problems. Anytime you died, if you just reset and you moderately make sure that you spend the effort to if you moderately spend the effort to make sure that you go back to the tower every now and then so that you autosave, resetting is not really a problem ever. So we gotta go back anyways, because we'll need greens. Plus, I seriously doubt I need 10 blues or 17 blues. So we got the reds back, and you would have thought that that would have stopped the reds from popping up and fighting us here. But nope. It isn't. I just don't like how the blues work. I really don't. They take too long, they die too easily. If they were stronger. So we've got all four of our
I
hives.
must confess, you did impress me. You livened the place up.
So all four of those are back.
I don't go with losers, my darling. So prove yourself.
Velvet is only gonna date me if I'm a winner. And kill their father.
I've grown quite fond of you, so try not to die.
So this follows a kind of genetic level too. That if the daughters, Rose and Velvet, are actually the Overlord's daughters, then I marry one of them and potentially have a kid, then the lineage stays intact of evil. So I might be the one who's marrying into the evil name, Overlord name. I've done a fair job on corruption though. I got to 85%. Doing everything. And the one thing I didn't get was, I guess I just didn't kill enough humans. And that's ridiculous because if you've been following this, I've killed a considerable amount of civilians.
Queens!
There we go. There we go. Let's see. Take this. Trying to just get all this poison gas out of the way. Alright. And then we'll just go ahead and sweep these guys over here. These guys over here. Do I want to sacrifice some of my guys for health? Normally I would say no, but in this rare occasion, I think I'm gonna say yes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. That gets me up to where I'd want to be. We are now ready. We just need to get 5 more powerful guys. Take a little bit of blues. 5 blues, why not? So now we're ready for the final battle. Wow, you just walk out of this room and they're right back. I guess it has to work that way, doesn't it? Because if you were playing so poorly that you were losing all of your minions, I don't even know how you'd play that poorly. But if you somehow figured out a way to do that, it might be interesting to do betrayal. More weapons. There we go. And so there's been a water area, a poison area, a fire area, and a earth-ish area. Sorta. The browns really... There really wasn't a section here just full of sheep or anything Right, for the Browns. And now we go and destroy this door. And we take on the old Overlord. Oh, you don't destroy it, you just push it. Okay.
The good always want to be heroes. They're so predictable. So are you.
Okay. So we are straight up in an arena.
Have two. You're a hero now.
Is Melvin back? Oh no, he's talking about.
She loves you so much. If you want to slip away with her, I won't tell anyone.
Okay, so count the number of people he's talking about. That's 2. Does he do all 7?
Everything. Turned out what she wanted was what other people had.
Alright, so betrayal's not gonna work. Let's try. Nope.
Heroes never digress. Hard to see what you love taken away, isn't it, Khan? When reason is gone,
Is that 4 or 5?
madness. Go, go. You can have all the cool you ever wanted, my friend. No one will refuse a hero. Have two. You're a hero now.
So at most it seems like there's just 6. 6 guys. So if I was supposed to be one, or if he's supposed to be Pride.
The good. They don't know how close to evil they really are.
So now I get to do the final blow. So if either he is the 7th deadly sin or I am for Pride. I think. Let's do it.
And so the evil Overlord defeated the other evil Overlord, and the land rejoiced. His domain flourished. The very land itself bore the mark of corruption. The people lived in fear. They spoke his name in whispers. He killed, pillaged, and destroyed without mercy. He became evil incarnate. He, his mistress, and all their little minions lived happily ever after.
Why'd the audio cut out? I don't know, this game had some major audio problems in some spots. So that's the not complete corruption ending.
But evil will always find a way.
So yeah, was really jerky in that ending. Really, really jerky about just them not getting the animations to play right. Now, this is a pretty old game. Maybe on the Xbox 360. Maybe when this first came out on PC, it played better, but I don't really kind of buy into that. I can't buy into the argument that, oh, my computer is so fast now and it's so new, and just because I have an SSD and I have a way better video card and I have way more hard drive space, that somehow would cause it to not run the way it was supposed to. It certainly has been in the case that like trying to run things on newer versions of Windows, which by the way I run Windows 10 right now, might has in the past messed stuff up, but it is not an excuse. Absolutely never an excuse. So I think they should have spelled it out directly that there was supposed to be a seven deadly sins type thing here. Pride was the one that is the question mark, and I think that works fine. We don't really know what happened to Gnarl. Assumedly we punished him thoroughly and then let him be the leader again after a while. We don't know what happened to all the concentrated evil. Did it go into me, or was it going into the wizard, or was it just getting dispersed? I don't know what the exact, what 100% corruption ending would look like. Unless this is gonna let me back into the game, I don't see how we can do it. And we're only 17 minutes into this. This is a problem. Definitely a problem. I should have just gone long in the last recording if it's only going to be 17 minutes. Credits here, nothing. Slight music. I'm noticing that there's like a white bar between on each side of it too. That seems a little weird. Why is there a white bar? Maybe they were going to do some animation there, maybe have it in a long banner. That would be cool. Pretty big number of people worked on this game. Now, Codemasters is kind of unique because they've made some racing games and they've made this game, and I'm sure there's a couple other games, but not a lot. And when you look at the Steam latest updates for this game, the second to newest thing right now is them teasing Overlord 3. Now, I think the article that it connects to actually is misinterpreting that, and they didn't really explain themselves. I'm not sure I really believe there is going to be an Overlord 3 because they did lay off like 80 people. So imagine if 80 of the names you've seen here that actually did something, not the thanks and special thanks and stuff, were laid off several years ago, and then they were going to try and make a 3 on there. They were mostly focusing on the racing games. Also, when you think about it, when 80 people get laid off from a company making a style of game like this, why didn't they go and make a style of game just not called Overlord? Because that's normally what happens when the game is a huge success, and for some weird reason the creators get laid off anyways, is you go and then pick up where you were at. Okay, so where are we now in the story? We are nowhere in the story. Good. So we can just go to Heaven's Peak and I guess try to get 100% corruption. Kind of just take a count Notice that this spooky area over here was never used. There was never anything that indicated go over there or do anything. It was simply, there's nobody here but sheep. Interesting. So if we needed, these guys are all dead on the ground already. So I might as well have gone Heaven Peak City to kill more civilians. Our corruption is at 85%. I would have liked to have seen 100% ending. It wouldn't be too difficult to play this game and to get 100% not corrupted. You just have to have the list in front of you, is the situation there. If you have the list in front of you, if you know what you're doing, you won't do it. Slight, maybe, danger if you accidentally killed one civilian. That does knock you into a level. I wish it was you had to kill 10 before they started saying you were corrupted. This is the post-destruction city, it seems like. Some sheep over here. Notice there's zombie bodies here. There weren't zombie bodies when we were fighting Khan. There's sheep all over. If we go to the halfway to Heaven Inn, can we fight people in there? No. There's nobody here. Wow. Very surprising. So, let's see. What are my impressions of this game? I've played it enough to say I want to continue playing it. I want to do the Raising Hell DLC. I hope where I am in the game won't be really affected by that. I don't see why there would be. We are in the post-destruction city, which is limiting us a little bit. We can't go quite as far as we would have liked.
Don't know what.
There's just not enough people to get that full Enemy of Mankind quest. There's just not enough people in any city. Because I've been very thorough about killing people. Rather thorough about it, and I don't think there's any area anywhere in this game that would turn around and be significantly changed. We'll go check out Spree while we're at it. Why not? Let's go check out Spree and see what that looks like. Let's see. Back to the tower. There's no counter on the being shown. So Mellow Hills is where we start. I like the animation. An odd thing about this animation too, that because it's cartoony, I think it looks a lot better. But also because of the way it was programmed, one way or another, it is maxing out my recordings. So I am getting, for an hour-long video, 5 GB files each time, which does take well over an hour to upload to YouTube. And my point there is, I think because it's polygonal, looks like I could open these gates and go back down these directions if necessary. That only makes sense, and it's probably needed. Run up here. This is just inherently boring. The guy's not there. Interesting. I mean, it's totally boring. How many times would I have had to run around? It's more than realistic. I think there's less people now. And I don't feel that I am near that. Maybe if it was a new game plus type thing, where we could go full corruption on the second playthrough, and you had to kill over 1,000. But then you would have had to play 2 games as evil, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the 2 endings. Honestly, when games do something like this, I just to unlock the other ending. Particularly in the day and age of YouTube now. Because people are just gonna go watch the ending and the other ending. And that's what I have to say here. If you really want to go see what the 100% corruption ending is, go watch it on somebody else's YouTube. Type it in, Overlord 100% corruption ending. If you want to see a 0% corruption ending, type in 0% corruption ending Overlord in the YouTube. I'm sure you'll be able to find the videos. Yet again, as often happens, the truth lies in that these 100% quests suck. It almost never works out. So many times I've tried to play games where you try to do 100%. Quests should never be 100%. It should be 90% at most. So, kill the old Overlord. Well, inherently, I guess what I have to do is I have to end this episode, and then... When did I get a fire guy? Giblet. Why is he up here now?
Impenetrable one.
Interesting. I don't think there's anything more that can be done up here. No explanation on the story. I will be playing Overlord 2, probably not right after we finish Raising Hell. I'm gonna play Raising Hell, so it will come. Now, the new game that they thought was Overlord 3, to get back to that story, is Overlord Fellowship of the Evil. It is a 4-player kind of top-down Diablo-esque fighter with minions somewhat involved. Frankly, there's not a lot of information about it right now, so I can't say much about it. I like the concept of a game like of this world continuing and expanding, and they don't all have to be exactly like this game. In fact, there's some really old style in the button alignment, in some of its mentality of having to blow up doors 3 times.
The way you handle those pixies, darling, it quite amazes me.
I think this game probably should focus a little bit more on making the Overlord stronger, and the minions should kind of fall secondary. No new weapons can be forged of any kind. Like if we were gonna make a mace with the Arcanum, it cost us 5,000, and we could put 500 guys in it. No real reason why you would want the mace. I think the sword is the only real choice. so they probably should have done that. It's the customization of your tower.
Destroyer
Cool
of
little
Elvenkind.
add-on, kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
When we come down to this section, let's see. What creatures did we come across that we haven't defeated and can? Let's see. No, the Flamer Dwarf and the Force Troll are not new. The Reborban Bomber is new. And that's it. So it wouldn't be really difficult for me to come in here and defeat all of these guys and have every single one checked off. If there were achievements on Steam and that was something they unlocked an achievement, I would definitely consider doing that. But right now the only thing I'm really concerned about is trying to get 100% corruption, which is going to take us a lot of work. Save before quitting, and let's get back to the main thing. This is a game still worth playing. As we wrap up here, it's barely going 30 minutes this episode. I'm sorry about that, but next time we will start the Raising Hell DLC. There is the multiplayer here that really certainly goes to show that they were thinking weirdly. Co-op survival versus we're not going to find anybody on multiplayer in 2015 though. If we clicked new game, would it totally erase everything? Ew. I cannot risk clicking that button because you just don't know. Usually it would warn you, but you just don't know. Options, nothing in the options, nothing really in the credits. Okay, so now when you see the credits like this, it makes sense that you see the little lines. Why didn't they bother to show it like this at the ending? Excuse me there for coughing, but totally a game worth playing. I love the storyline, I love the concept. Very rarely can you just embrace the cartoonish evil, the bad guy just for the sake of being a bad guy. And you could have played as the good guy in this game, but there would have been no real benefit from it. It's not fun. I play the good guy in almost every series I run. Well, usually I play the as good a guy as I want to, but it's usually the good guy. Let me just leave it at that. And in this game, it makes no sense. A true good guy would have probably just left the evil tower immediately and not done anything. Now we're getting some nice animation here. Why was this animation not in the final credits? This makes no sense. This is also the only time you get to see half of these angles of the tower is the main screen. The main screen is probably the best artistically shot scene in the whole game. That is frustrating. That is rather frustrating. So I look forward to seeing what happens in Overlord 2. Obviously the quote-unquote big surprise was that you were being used and betrayed the whole game, and that there was an older, even more evil Overlord that was manipulating you, and that you actually started off as a hero, and you can kind of see that in the styles of a lot of those people we fought, that they wore Dungeons and Dragons style character classes of heroes. And I would like to see some major improvements, and I would definitely like to see an actual true Overlord 3 actual sequel. I'd love to see it. It needs to be polished up. I want to see this tower expanded and have more to do in it. I would say probably stay at most 50 minions and mostly just move away from minions, because compared to Pikmin, this game doesn't win in any sense. Pikmin is still way better for being a Pikmin style game. That's why I call them Pikmin style games. Uh, the ability to not throw your guys and the not having the ability to throw your minions like you can throw Pikmin, and not having as good of control as I seem to recall Pikmin did, uh, hurts it a little bit. But there's room in the world for two series that are based somewhat on this idea. But then they could totally get rid of the minion thing too. They could just have 4 minions who have their own AI, or 4 types of minions that have their own AI, and you don't control them at all. Or you give them very subtle commands, because you could certainly say stay here, attack, move there. That's all you really need to be able to say. You don't have to sweep them across the screen and manually direct them everywhere. Oh, the credits look so much better this way. Wow, what a major failing. But if I'm saying the credits are the biggest failing of this game, everything else is fine. This is fine. The animation style has let it stay up. The story doesn't feel too old or cliched or anything like that. This is great, and I really don't have anything more to say to it, so we'll just end it here. So that's it for Overlord. Now we're gonna do the DLC of Raising Hell after I play for potentially hours and hours trying to get 100% corruption. I'm gonna do that all off screen. The parts of this game that are bad are, if you don't reset, you will run out of minions. So use reset to your benefit if you die. And if you do want a lot of minions and you want to upgrade your weapon, which you really didn't need to ever do, you could probably have gone the whole game with just a steel set of weapons and armor and never upgraded any of that. But if you do want a full set of Arcanium, you are going to spend 3 to 4 hours in the arena fighting beetle bugs. So the game in some places wanted you to play it a lot more, and it doesn't make sense. This was barely a 30-hour game, and they want you to spend 10% more of that 3 to 4 hours just building up your inventory for no reason. Yeah, that's just silly. Same as the multiplayer is silly, and the split screen is silly. And it shows you just how old this game is that it even has split screen. I have repeated myself probably a lot, and I'm done. I want to see more of Velvet too. That is who I definitely want to see more of. So that's it. I'd say play Overlord. Check out the reviews for Fellowship of Evil. It probably will be a decent game too. I don't know yet because it's not out yet. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos because all that helps me with YouTube. Also, if you're gonna stop here or if you have some free time, click on my name Rydo to get to my main YouTube page, then click that playlist tab and see all the other games I've covered. I will put a second playlist for Raising Hell because that will be its own little separate mini series because it does have substantial content additions and kind of improves on this game, I would bet a little bit by just giving it a little bit more. Also on my main YouTube page, which would be greatly appreciated if you would click that support button on the right and make a donation. Any amount you give me would be greatly appreciated. Even $1 might get me a game when the Steam Summer Sales come out. And one game can be a series. Maybe it would be a spotlight if it's a really short game where I do just one episode, but usually if the game's of any length worth mentioning, I will do a whole series on it. You'll be able to watch me, hear my criticisms of them, my review of it, and see what I have to do and how badly or well I play this game. I played this game sort of badly, but pretty well. I'd say mediocrely well, perhaps. I am certainly not a professional gamer. I am a jack of all trades, master of none when it comes to that. I've played lots and lots of games, thus I did not master any of them. And that makes me slightly better than average gamer, is how I describe myself at least. I can do a little bit better than an average gamer, but only a little. So you can trust through my gameplay the amount of struggle you're going to have, if there is any struggle at all. And then finally, please do follow and friend me on all the social media links that I have down below, because that helps me with those services and it helps you see when I have new videos come out. I release new videos every Monday through Friday, but if you want to know the exact second they come out, you gotta follow me on either Twitter or Facebook or Google Plus or Tumblr. Any of those will work. Also, you can friend me on Steam, which helps me a little bit, and you can friend me on battle.net, which helps me a little bit there too. That's it for the Overlord. Pretty fun. Again, if you were looking for the Overlord anime that is popular in 2015, and you have watched the entire series hoping for that, I don't know why. I said on the very first episode that that was not this series, and sorry, but Overlord cannot be copyrighted. They tried to trademark it, but you don't even see a trademark mark here next to the name. It's just too general a name. Thank you if you watched this whole series and you were looking for the anime, but I don't know why you would have done that. And I guess that's as silly a thought as any to end this episode. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.